Sir, the share of individual income tax payer in GDP has increased from 2.5% in 2017-18 to 3.64% in 2024 and 25, sir. Sir, a comparison with BRICS economies shows that effective personal income tax rate in India is among the highest. Sir, Section 80D of the Income Tax Act allows tax deductions of up to 25,000 rupees every financial year on health insurance premiums, sir.
And whatever budget is being spent by the central government is on central government institutions and not on state government institutions and not on private institutions. So the number should be divided by students and faculty members and staff that are in central government institutions. And any drop in the number of schools, amount of budget that is being spent, I think every state is accountable to speak about it because schools are largely run by state governments and not by central government. So I think we should be careful about how we attribute blame. And I think in this changing world, it's very important for us to recognize what is the role of government. Is it to spend money only, or is it also to enable? I think there's a balance between the both. It is to regulate, is to create good policies for the growth of the education ecosystem, and for those who can afford it, providing high quality education. And for those who can't, I think the government should step in and invest into the future of such citizens of India.
This deduction limit has remained the same for the last 10 years, sir. But on the other side, the medical expenses of every individual is growing in a very big way from the last 10 years, sir. So, to address this issue, necessary steps has to be taken to enhance the deduction limit up to 1 lakh rupees per financial year on health insurance premiums, keeping in view of the increased medical expenditure, sir. Sir, the new tax regime curtails several important tax deductions, leaving people disincentivized from switching on from the old regime, sir. Deductions under Section 80C, 80D and 80E and various other deductions are not permitted under the new tax regime, leaving middle class people and the poor people into dissatisfaction and financial stress and strain, sir. Sir, coming to indirect taxes and GST, indirect tax collections are increasing every year by year, sir. Government has been seeing record GST collections with a significant increase in July 2024, totaling to an amount of 1,82,075 crores, sir, marking 10.3% rise compared to July 2023, which was 1,65,000 crores, sir. Given this high collections, now the government should come forward and consider reducing or exempting GST rates on certain basic goods and services which are commonly consumed by the poor and the middle class, sir. On behalf of the weavers, I request the government to exempt 5% GST on the raw material used by the weavers, sir. And on behalf of the fishermen, fishermen are making a request from a long time, sir, for GST exemption on components used for making fishing nets, including nylon twines, ropes and floats, sir. Sir, and farming community, you very well know, sir, it is in severe distress. We have to address the issues of farming community, sir. Sir, a new act has to be introduced in this house, fixing MSP for all crops produced by the farmers in this country, sir. Sir, and more importantly, sir, to promote farm mechanization and to support farmers, GST should be exempted for all farm supplements, sir. Sir, and more importantly, sir, 18% GST is collected on health insurance premium and life insurance premium, sir. Sir, we strongly request the government to withdraw GST on life insurance and health insurance premiums, sir. Sir, coming to our state, Andhra Pradesh, sir, our former Chief Minister, Sri Y.S. Jagannath Reddy Garu, requested Honorable Prime Minister several times to grant special category status to Andhra Pradesh as promised in this House, sir, by the then Prime Minister, Sri Manmohan Singh ji. We strongly urge the government to grant special category status for Andhra Pradesh and fulfill the promise made in this House, sir. Sir, in AP Reorganization Act, establishment of steel plant at Kadapa was promised to us, sir. We strongly urge the government to establish steel plant at Kadapa, sir. Sir, in the same AP Reorganization Act, railway zone at Vizag was assured to us, sir. We urge the government to implement its promise, sir. Sir, more importantly, we request the government to withdraw its plan to privatize Vizag steel plant, sir. Sir, thank you. Once again, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
So with this prefacing comments, I'd like to get into the demand for grants for the Ministry of Education. I'm only speaking about the Ministry of Education, not commenting on the budget for skill development or entrepreneurship. And I would like to get into specific points appreciating the government. I think overall, the budget has increased from about 1,12,000 crores to 1,20,000 crores over the last year. And I think that's about a 7% increase. We're beating inflation, but as a fellow educator myself, I always hope that we are able to give more money to education, and I think that will keep happening. Going into specific issues, I think the Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, the increase of 11% from 8,300 crores to 9,300 crores is reinstating this strong commitment to enhancing these quality schools in India. The PM Shri program was mentioned. The budget has been increased from 4,000 to 6,050 crores from last year. And this is a strong commitment to enhancing the educational infrastructure and quality across India. Currently, about 10,855 schools have been impacted across 763 districts. And there's a target of impacting more than 14,500 schools through this program. I'd like to also appreciate the STARS program budget, which is largely to improve teacher effectiveness through specialized teacher training. And right now we've got about 3,75,000 schools impacted, 15 lakh teachers trained through this program, and about 4,40,000 crore students who have benefited across 6 states. I mentioned this in my speech on the budget, and I think I'd like to mention it again here on education. I'd like to specifically appreciate the e-vouchers being provided to about 1 lakh students every year to secure loans of up to 10 lakhs to pursue higher education in domestic institutions, and the 3% interest subvention on student loans. On higher education, a subject very close to my heart, the budget has increased by 8% since last year. And 2 aspects in particular: the budget to world-class institutions, like the Institutes of Eminence, has increased by 20% from 1,500 crores to 1,800 crores this year. And the support to central universities has increased by a large 38% from about 11,500 crores to close to 16,000 crores now. The one thing I'd like to request here, sir, is while the allocation has increased overall, the budget for the Central University of Andhra Pradesh and the Central Tribal University of Andhra Pradesh, which are subjects of the AP Reorganization Act, have been subsumed into the larger support to central universities. I request that the budget, whatever has to be allocated to these 2 specific universities in Andhra Pradesh, continue as expected in the Act, and we are supported to establish them as soon as possible. I'd like to then go over the achievements of NDA over the last 10 years. I think one of the foremost things has been the new education policy that was announced about 4 years ago, and various aspects of implementation are between the states and the center. There's a huge responsibility on the state governments, on the central government, to really see this into reality, because the language of the NEP, as an educator myself, is something that I'm really looking forward to seeing in reality. What are the achievements of the central government? Speakers of the government and representing the BJP have spoken also about the number of universities that have increased from 700 to 1,100, number of colleges that have increased from 37,000 to 44,000, the number of central government institutions, the institutes of national importance, have doubled from 75 to about 149 in 2020-21, and more have come in the last 2-3 years. The educational outcomes have been spoken by speakers before me, but I'd like to reinstate my appreciation for the increase in women enrolled from 1.5 crores to 2.1 crores, close to 2.1 crores. indicating a 32% jump in women enrollment, and the ratio between male and female students in higher education is 1 to 1.01. So that's a fantastic improvement, and that means that more women are actually coming into education than before, and I appreciate the government's efforts in achieving that. The seventh pay that was implemented in 2016 for faculty and teacher salaries and staff salaries across institutions in the state and the center, I think has done a great job in making education an attractive employment opportunity for citizens of India. We run a private university and we pay salaries, and we are constantly competing with government institutions on attracting talent, and we still fight for talent vis-a-vis those who go to institutions like the IITs and the IIMs. And I think the benefits that the government provide and the stability that the government provide really attract high quality talent into educational institutions in the government. The private sector is growing. As was mentioned, about 50% of the students and faculty are in private sector institutions. But I fear that many private institutions are not able to recruit faculty at the quality that the government institutions are able to. Another measure that has come about a decade ago is the NIRF, the rankings for institutions across the country. And now I think it's made a very clear race for institutions everywhere that if you want to recognize, you want to get recognition, you want to get access to funding, you need to do well on these rankings. I want to request the government to pay more attention to this one aspect where I think we've reached a good place now, but I'd like it to become more qualitative in the future so that there are some metrics which reward you for quantitative growth, which is good, but once we've reached some quantitative level of success, I think the emphasis on quality, whether it be the quality of publications, the quality of PhD, is going to be the next level for NIRF to lead institutions to the global rankings. There are some institutions in the global 200 rankings from India today. There can be many more. I think we're well underway in that direction. I think the evolution of NIRF is going to help us get in that direction.
ఇప్పుడు ఆపరేషన్ లేకుండానే మోకాళ్లకు ప్లాస్మా ట్రీట్మెంట్, మీ ఆర్థోపెడిక్ సమస్యలన్నిటికీ రోబోటిక్ టెక్నాలజీ ద్వారా తక్కువ ఖర్చుతో శాశ్వత పరిష్కారం, ఫ్రీ కన్సల్టేషన్, ప్రతి ట్రీట్మెంట్ పై 20% డిస్కౌంట్. ఈ ఆఫర్ కొద్ది రోజులు మాత్రమే, త్వరపడండి. V9 హాస్పిటల్స్ 9281465842.